All right, welcome in. McElroy and Cubelic in the morning. Appreciate you guys tuning in. 7 a.m. right here on Jocks. McElroy out today, out the rest of the week. I think he's back with us on Monday. We have a lot of college football to get to today. Just a lot of college sports in general to get to. We mentioned yesterday the Rules Committee trying to get rid of the targeting suspension. More from the NCAA and the Rules Committee today. We'll talk to Ross Tellinger about that at 9 o'clock today. We've got Josh Pate at 9:20 today, coming off his conversation with the President of the United States. J.C. Sherbert's going to be with us at 7:20. A potential injury in Columbia, South Carolina that could be somewhat detrimental to their season. We'll see just how bad it looks. Shane Beamer has spoken on that. We'll hear, let you know what he had to say as well. And then Andy Bertram at 8 talking tonight with Auburn taking on Oklahoma on the road. Another game that they need. Where do they stand as far as getting into the tournament? How does it look for this team? And we kind of mentioned it with Richard Hendricks yesterday. This has been a roller coaster Oklahoma basketball team. You look at the record, specifically the conference record, not a great team, but they have some weird good wins. Just that a lot of them felt like kind of out of nowhere. So they have that capability to be able to go and do that. So we'll talk some Auburn hoops with Andy Bertram today. Charles Bediako is back in the news. He's filed an appeal to the Alabama Supreme Court seeking interim injunctive, allowing him to play while his appeal is pending. It's legal jargon that I don't know a lot about.
Feels above my pay grade.
Or a lot of what it is. I would like to know, here's the hard part about this. Do I really want to talk about this today? No, I don't. But I would like to know where other people are on this. Is this newsworthy to you? Because apparently that's something we did not accomplish yesterday. Do you care? Is it worth talking about? When you hear this, and this is just me, you guys may be different. You may feel different. And if you do, that's fine. Specifically, I'd be interested to hear from Alabama fans. When I see Charles Bediako has filed an appeal, I don't need to hear the rest of it. It's immediate eye roll. I mean, and I saw LSU signed a kid from somewhere overseas yesterday, 22-year-old point guard who's played at ABCD, elite camp, double shoes, Air Jordan, maximum pressure league. Is this taking high school spots away? Probably. That's why the NCAA can't lean on one thing.
Yep.
There can't be one thing that the NCAA says, but this prevents this because you're going to have 15 other things. I'm going to tell you this. We're going to look back on this one day. Who do you think has the most impossible job in America right now? Anything, anywhere. Like, who has the most can't-win job in the United States?
Besides president?
Oh, no. We're not. You can take that one down the hall. Y'all can have that segment, or we'll have it with Josh at 9:20 a little bit maybe.
I just meant more so
do that.
The way the president has been lately, half of America automatically hates you. So no matter what, I don't think you can win.
That's the majority of presidents, I believe.
Right.
So.
That's why I went that. When going current just meant over the last 250 some odd years.
But I do think he has a lot of wins, specifically in his mind. So okay, there doesn't matter. Also, don't even think he takes the salary, so it's like he's fine without it. Who has the most impossible job in America? Honestly. I had not thought of this pre-show, so I don't have a list of people. I don't have a list of names. But I'm going to tell you, we're going to look back on this, John, in 20 years as one of the most impossible sports attempts at a job in history that Charlie Baker has right now. He cannot do anything. And anything he does do or say, you know what college football, let me rephrase. You know what college sports, the non-administrative side of college sports is right now? College sports right now are the parents.
Okay.
The non-administrative side of college sports are 7, 8, and 9-year-olds.
Oh, boy. Yeah. That feels right.
everything that is said, here comes 52 other reasons why it should be done. But you said this, but what about that? But Johnny got this, but Sally got that. But my teacher said this. Well, so-and-so's got this every time. Well, Billy gets ice cream. Why don't I get ice cream? That's literally the non-admin side of college sports right now. It is and, or, but, maybe, if, not even please, thank you, I'm going to, is what it's now turning into. And you know what? A little bit of, and because there's some of these kids out there too, watch this.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Don't pick that up.
Try and stop me.
Don't touch that.
Yeah.
Don't touch her. Don't hit him. Give it back. And you can literally see it in your kid's eyes. Watch this. Oh, yeah? That's what the non-admin side of college sports is right now. They're literal 9-year-olds, all of them. Well, we'll go to column A, reference B, state law 47B256, where the legislative in 1947 said that so-and-so could be eligible if this by a non-employment status. It's like none of it is even just, okay, yes, sir, no, ma'am, yes, ma'am, please, thank you. It's an and, or, but, maybe, if, watch this. That's all it is. I don't know who has the most impossible job in America right now, but I'm telling you, Charlie Baker's not far from it. And this is not an apology for Charlie Baker at all. And there are a lot of people out there that cannot try to move past the fact that the NCAA made a lot of mistakes for a lot of years, which, by the way, maybe it's unfair because I've had a one-on-one conversation with Charlie Baker, and he'll be the first one to tell you that. He's like, hey, man, we screwed this thing up for a long time. We really did. We had plenty of chances to make this right, which I would say, like, have we sat back and hypothetically said that if 1995, 2005, 2000, 2010, 2015, if the NCAA would have said, here is 20% revenue sharing across the board, every TV deal that is cut with each league, you will take 20% of that and you will evenly distribute it to the student athletes. Now, how you do that to student athletes is your business. If North Carolina wants to give 80% of that to basketball, so be it. Julius Peppers and them can be out there on their own. Good luck. Brandon Spoon, hope you figure it out. If Kansas wants to go out there and give Joel Embiid 15% of the TV revenue because he's going to play 1 year basketball, so be it.
That's on them.
Good luck, Todd Reesing. If Auburn wants to give Chris Porter 5% of all the TV revenue, good luck, Gerard Powers.
Sorry, Playboy.
Doesn't matter. If Georgia wants to give David Pollock and Jarvis Jones 25% of all the revenue, I can't give you a Georgia basketball player from that era, but good luck to that guy. I feel like they had like a 20-year span where we didn't know anybody who played basketball.
And Anthony Edwards show up. Yeah.
We literally went like Dominique Anthony Edwards.
Pretty much. You blinked and, oh.
Some guys.
Yeah.
So there's nothing that can be done. That's one thing that we'll talk to Ross Dellinger about is there is some 51-year-old rule that apparently now they're trying to go back to from an eligibility standpoint to make this work a little bit. But if you're a parent out there riding around and you deal with these parents, you deal with kids between 7 and 12, I think you know exactly what I'm talking about. Everything the NCAA tries to do, wants to do, oh, but this. Okay, well, I'll hit you in state court. Okay, cool. I'll go to the Supreme Court. Okay, fine. I'll sue you for this. Guess what? Junior college doesn't count. Guess what? I didn't get NIL when I was in JUCO before NIL was a real thing. Suing you. I want more eligibility. I want to keep playing. No, this does count as NIL. This isn't NIL. This is fake NIL. This is real NIL. No, I had a cough that year. I couldn't play. I deserve to get that year back. I mean, it's nonstop. How can they win? Think about the legal fees. Just everything else not included. The legal fees the NCAA is facing right now. Those guys bill hourly. Am I not mistaken?
That is correct.
And they went like a marathon in Oxford and then literally had to leave the hearing early to go start their marathon in Knoxville. And they had to go back and forth now here in Tuscaloosa.
That is also correct.
That's not all the other. We didn't even talk about the other ones happening. By the way, that's like a blip on their radar of all the expletive that is happening to them right now. I've probably already got it. Screw the NCAA. I'm not taking up for them. I'm not saying they're right. I'm not saying they've done everything right. But I'm just telling you, there's going to come a point in time that we need to sit back and say, I understand they screwed a lot of things up a long time ago, but this can't continue to all be their fault. Like, a lot of this is self-inflicted wounds now. And those self-inflicted wounds is like, we're handing the bat to the attorney and say, have at it. Like, the attorneys are providing a lot of the self-inflicted wounds to college sports right now. And I get it. Y'all are making y'all's money, man. Do what you do. Good. Congrats. I hope you win big and you get to go sue Toyota one day and get that big check that you can ride off into the sunset. Congratulations. Whatever. I don't know how it goes. It's not my place. Hardest job in America. Nothing?
More so probably the most thankless job in America.
That's, if we want to go separate category, close to, I mean, how many people are walking around right now saying, you know, Charlie Baker is really doing some good things for college sports?
That'd be no one.
I mean, that Charlie Baker, he's giving it the old try. He didn't even get that. I would love to have Charlie Baker on the show right now and like, who's the last person that gave you like a half A pass on the back? Just like a, I want you to feel good about yourself, pat on the rear end.
Who outside
even though they didn't mean it.
Who's the last person told you thank you?
No, not even that. You know, the kid that has struck out like 7 times in a row, and you're like, good job, Billy.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, man, great effort. And if that 9, 7, 8-year-old knew, like, tone, he would understand, like, you're just don't even know what to do anymore. Hey, Charlie, you gave it your all, man. You gave it your all.
I would say maybe high school janitor.
I see videos every now and then about, like, the school did something nice
Does
for the
something
janitor.
for that?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Like, what do the people even in-house say to him? What can you say good job to him about? Charlie, good job enacting that new lawsuit down there in the South. Yeah, man. You're killing it. Hey, way to at least introduce the conversation of maybe not having kids getting suspended with targeting. Good job. Even though that might not go through. But at least you got some people saying some positive things about college sports. I mean, Brandon Burleson tweets in, it's absolutely laughable. This is not an NCAA apology session. This is not a feel sorry for Charlie Baker. He knew what he was getting into. He knew exactly what he was getting into. He also played college basketball and thought there was a way he could potentially make a difference. And he knows it's not going to be like when he played, which is before when I played. But he also, I think he wants to at least try to keep it somewhat collegiate. Now, I think we can take the amateur word out of it now. Like, let's just throw that out. And that is not and there you go. Another mistake college sports made for a long time is trying to hang on to that amateurism word. The Olympics made the same mistake.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. We're going to keep some of our best chances at medals out because you signed a Wheaties deal for $10,000. Sorry, can't participate. We'll take the guy that's not going to medal. That didn't last long.
It feels like with Charlie Baker, I don't know how long he's been president for, what, 3, maybe 4 years or so.
That's a good question. When did he start?
I feel like it was 22. If it feels relatively recent. It's not like he's been – I know it's post-COVID or whatever, but it feels like it's also been this decade. It feels like it's been relatively recently. But I feel like with him, there's no – like, what could he do? I feel like he's out here fighting, and yet I feel like everyone wants everyone wants the same thing, but everyone's fighting them along the way. Like you said, that he wants college to be collegiate again. I think most everybody listening out there want that for college too. I think most of the players want it, but also want to get money, and understandable. But they also don't want to go through. They also want to kind of make it professional too. So it feels like everyone's kind of on the same side, but fighting a different battle.
There's a lot of want their cake and eat it too.
Yeah,
a lot in college sports right now. I mean, it's just, you know, it's a lot of, hey, we want to be able to do this, but at the expense of that. And by the way, we don't care. And a lot of these lawsuits, you think about it, like, we don't care if it ruins things for the next 20 years. We don't care how it affects these other guys. Think about when the JUCO rule, the JUCO window a year and a half ago, whatever it was let in to play. How many guys out there that had no idea they were going to play another year of college football all of a sudden opted into that? Or what? I don't even know what you do. What do you sign the document, opt in, sign the waiver, join the lawsuit? I don't even know. But all of a sudden it's like, well, so-and-so's got another year. I can remember talking to coaches that offseason. Well, we got this left guard that we thought was done, but apparently now he's got another year, so we got to figure out what we're going to do with the two kids we signed out of high school that are going to play guard because we have too many guards in the room. Like, that goes back to this as a sidebar conversation. Something that a lot of us don't get from some of the lower levels of football. Like, Ryan Silverfield's the one that told me this, and he doesn't have this problem anymore. He had like 2 JUCO guys that got an extra year. Well, they knew the system, knew the scheme, and they were pretty good players for him. So he didn't want to run them. But he's like, now I have 2 extra guys at 2 positions. So he's like, we can't afford that. We couldn't afford the food. We can't afford the travel, like extra hotel rooms, extra food. He's like, literally extra equipment. Like, we don't have it. We don't have. Now, this was pre-Fred Smith kind of stepping in saying, I will float your entire conference fee. So maybe it's a little bit different now, but those are the battles that your UABs, your Southern Misses, your Utah States, God forbid what Sacramento State's about to go through. I don't think they have any idea what they're stepping into. Like, all of a sudden, they're going to have somebody going back to them and saying, hey, we don't have hotel rooms for our wide receivers. Why not? It costs too much. Why?
We paid to travel for the other members of the conference.
Good news, Coach. We got y'all covered at the Holiday Inn. 11 guys a room. What? Actually, we rented you out the banquet room, and we got a bunch of cots.
Like the Revenge of the Nerds?
Just line them up.
Just in the gym? Okay.
You're good. Don't worry about it. Those problems are not going away for the lower tier levels of college football. We did not intend to take this conversation here today because it's not exactly what we wanted to do, where we're going to go. But it got me thinking of just where we are from an NCAA perspective. It's crazy. John Mack tweets in, Cole, when you say parents talking to their kids, remember, there are very few of us parents left. Most people are their kids' friends that enable their bad behavior and cover up for their bad choices. There's no personal responsibility, so kids haven't developed character. Some, I'm sure. I mean, listen, all of our kids have come home and say things that we're like, where did you get that? How did you know what that was? Wait a minute. When was that introduced? And when having them in different phases, obviously you're having different conversations with 10, 5, 8 of where they're picking things up from their friends. But yeah. And then the certain thinking you can get away with that. Why? Well, so-and-so did it. No, it doesn't work that way. And I think that's a lot of these lawsuits. Why is he suing them? Well, he did that. He sued him for that. Why can't I sue him for this? I played JUCO. Good. Well, I want a year back. That's not how it works. It's real football. Is there a level of high school football that we're going to exterminate at some point as far as eligibility is concerned? Like, can I go play at Birmingham Christian and then after I graduate high school come back to Pelham and say, that didn't count? That was private school. 22-year-old Pelham forward, 38 points a game. I'm just like, when does it end? No, it doesn't count. I want to transfer to Hoover. Why? Well, I played 1A football. Doesn't count. It's football. Yeah, but it's 1A. I want to play 2 more years in 7A and better my chances to go make more money in college. That's what we're going to get. I would like to better my chances to get better earnings out of high school into college via NIL. And you're keeping me from doing that. Lawsuit. You laugh at it now, but it's like, where does all this stuff stop? I don't think we're ever going to get to hate to go boys to men here, but end of the road. But we can't let go. All right, we'll get to a break. We got to let go of this conversation. It could go on forever. J.C. Sherbert updates us on the South Carolina offseason, a potential injury, how that'll affect the Gamecocks this fall. All that and more next right here on Jocks. Did they ever do a behind the music Boys to Men?
I don't think so.
I'm
I
not
feel
like a big Boys to Men guy, but I do feel like the further we get, people are not going to know what that really was.
that's not behind the music worthy to me then, because they weren't controversial. Like they
That's
didn't have
fair.
any. Yeah.
But there was nothing really like them.
No, like they were
Like,
just
all the other hip hop was basically bump and grind times 5.
correct. Right. Yeah. This was PG. Everything else was PG-13, if not more.
Get ready for this one because it might not go over well.
Uh-oh.
Boys to Men, top 5 artists all times as far as bringing in the white crowd.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Boys to Men, Eminem, Vanilla Ice.
What's
You know who I'm going to throw out there that you're not going to like, but when you think about it, it might be real? Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Man, I was thinking Run DMC for sure.
Fair. Run DMC Beastie Boys, I wouldn't. There's more because they were good.
Right, yeah.
Not the Boyz II Men wasn't good, but it's like they didn't have the, God, what's the word I'm looking for? Run DMC and Beastie Boys felt real. Not, they weren't trying to bring in the extra crowd. They weren't trying to be what that dude that managed Backstreet Boys was.
They were more,
like this.
Boyz II Men was more Carlton, not Will Smith.
Now we're talking.
Yeah.
Now we're on the same page.
Yeah.
Both can bring it in.
Correct.
Some intentionally, some unintentionally.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to intentionally bring in J.C. Sherbert now. Got his finger on the pulse of the South Carolina Gamecocks. How would you sort of grade so far the South Carolina off-season, things that have happened for Shane Beamer since the regular season ended?
Well, Cole, I'd probably go with about a B plus, A minus until the injury to Jacarius Peak the other day. Obviously, he's a special talent. I'm sure you've seen him play. And you've seen the Gamecocks offensive line play the last 2 years. And so that was a need, right? That was probably their left tackle penciled in. Now, he's not completely ruled out for the season. It's a patella injury. So it just kind of depends on the extent of it. But it's going to sideline him for a while. So obviously there's work to do on the offensive line yet again. But I've always thought that South Carolina needed to not be a quote-unquote pro-style system. I always thought when they've been at their best, they've been a little more aggressive, creative, and fun offensively. They're basically a defensive school, right? And then, they're always, if they're not good on defense, they're usually not that good. But offenses tend to be better when they're not, trying to do some complicated thing. And so I think moving from that to a Kendall Briles and that style, which has its roots at the high school level, so it's easy to learn, and you can just let your athletes go play. I thought that was an intelligent, brilliant move by Shane Beamer as far as the fit for the program, the fit for Lenore Sellers, and what they need to accomplish this coming year. So that was good. I thought Deion Barnes replacing Sterling Lucas was a good hire. They recruited really well from the high school ranks, and I think the portal class filled the needs on the roster. I mean, you signed 8 offensive linemen, and you needed to.
Huge.
So I thought it was a pretty good off season, but the injury, that kind of was dampened the spirits a little bit of the folks. But as we all know, as you know well, Cole, offensive line is all about 5 playing as one. And one guy can be elite, but if the other 4 hadn't been, they weren't going to be very good collectively. So there's still a chance to get a collectively good offensive line, in my opinion.
No doubt. All right, talking with J.C. Sherbert. He covers South Carolina. I love the way you laid out kind of the description of the program, the sort of how you would write its bio, because I kind of agree with that. When they're good on defense, they have more than a chance, and when you add pretty good offense to it, they can be super scary. It's odd, however, that they have been able to find so many great defensive linemen and so few offensive linemen. However, that is not a South Carolina problem in today's college football. That is a college football problem. And I'm with you 100% on Kendall Briles. I thought it was a great hire. I think he's an elite play caller. I think what he's going to be able to do with Lenore Sellers, utilizing his legs, utilizing some of the playmakers and getting them matchups. He's a big matchup guy. And they're not going to escape running the football, but you're still going to have some folks push some people around, which brings us back to Jacarius Peak. I think the good news there with what you laid out is he's got a ton of college snaps. I've got it written down somewhere. I want to say he had the 800 something last year. He doesn't really need a spring ball, unlike some other offensive linemen out there. So could this be a little bit of an addition by subtraction where some of those other new guys get reps, other guys are able to cross-train a little bit, and he's still able to be extremely effective and beneficial in the fall?
Yeah, I think 2 things on that. Number one, I think you're right because, the other guys that they got out of the portal that would potentially be left tackles, they're experienced too, but they're from lower levels, like Seth Smith's from Northern Arizona, Kojo Poku's from East Carolina. Then they've got a young kid, Damola Ajidahu, that's a redshirt freshman that they'll need to rep. That's a potential left tackle. Josiah Thompson, provided he's healthy during the spring, I think still needs a bunch of reps. So that's right. As far as him being effective with this type of injury, Cole, it just kind of depends on, some guys, when they have a patella like this, they don't come back the same. And so that would be the concern. Like, what are you getting when he finally does make it back? Because he was awfully good. So maybe his 80% is just as good as everybody else's. But that would be the one concern. But you're absolutely right. As far as missing spring practice in and of itself, I don't think it's a big deal that would that impacts his ability on the surface to go in there and play next year.
I've always said Shane Beamer, and J.C. Sherbert with us on the Higginbotham Hotline, has done more with less through the portal than maybe any coach in America. When you look at guys like Demetrius Knight, Joshua Simon, like we knew Rocket Sanders was a good football player, but a lot of people thought the tread was completely gone from that tire and that you were going to try to roll it out there and it was just going to skid off the road and not really give you anything. He ends up being great. You think about Juice Wells, what they got at Juice Wells and what everybody else has gotten out of Juice Wells. Like, they kind of feel like they got the most out of him. Spencer Rattler, a lot of people, yes, elite, 5-star, whatever, but a lot of people, they got no noise really in the offseason when they got him because a lot of people thought, oh, head case, he's done, he's not going to bounce back. More of the lower tier guys no one talks about. Who are some of those guys that you're looking at that maybe could have that kind of impact on that team this year?
South Carolina in the portal, I mean, Josh Simon, the tight end from 2 years ago from Western Kentucky, an in-state kid that came home, is another good example. It's really two tracks that they've been successful. Number one, finding those guys at the lower levels that are better than people missed on, that are better than people expected. And then number two, I call them kind of reclamation projects. Like you mentioned Spencer Rattler. You mentioned Rocket Sanders. Dindy. Monkel Goodwine, who came from Alabama, who never played at Bama, who ended up starting and being good this year at defensive tackle. There's a lot of guys like that. Kelby Collins, who's coming in from Alabama, is one. Caleb Herring, a defensive end edge from Tennessee, is another. Both good SEC players, kind of like Kyle Kennard, though, have they maximized. And it's a talent maximization game. And Carolina's been good at with those types of guys. As far as the lower level guys, I mentioned Seth Smith from Northern Arizona. He's a 6-year offensive tackle. Really like him. Really like Kojo Boku from East Carolina. He's a great story. He's out of Charlotte. Was a lacrosse player, walked on in East Carolina. He's 6'5", 320, could play inside or outside. So I really like him. And then at running back, they signed 3 running backs, but the guy to really keep an eye on is Christian Clark from Texas. He started for the Longhorns in their bowl game, rushed for 105 yards on 20 carries against Michigan. If he can top Matt Fuller and Jawarn Howell, I think he can really accomplish some things there. And then another sort of reclamation guy is Jaden Gibson from Oklahoma, a wide receiver. Really good as a freshman out there. He had injuries and other issues. But he's that 6'5", wiry guy, Cole, kind of like a Sidney Rice type, like a T. Higgins type. I'm not saying he's going to be T. Higgins, but Carolina doesn't really have any guys like that. Harbour is a big 6'5" receiver, but he's not really that jump baller. And so you kind of need that in your offense. So I'm curious to see how Jaden Gibson does at Carolina this year.
That's one of the things, too. If they can find – I don't mean this with negative connotation. The more one-trick ponies they can have at receiver, the more Kendall can do with them. Like you mentioned Harbour. He's a unicorn. But he'll find ways to get him one-on-one on the outside, and they'll take their shots, and he's not going to come up with every one of them. The hands are a little inconsistent, but they will find ways to use that. If you get guys that can hurt you over the middle or screen guys, they'll find ways to utilize those. I mean, remember, what was his name? Laquan something, the big, 380-pound tight end they had at Baylor that they would line up out there?
Yeah.
They'll find ways to use you. The more one-trick ponies they have, they'll line them up places and find ways to use. That's why I love going and getting different style guys on the perimeter that South Carolina could potentially be able to use. I want to ask you a different question in a different realm. This is just kind of a big left turn. Do you think South Carolina fans have any sort of true appreciation for how good Clayton White is?
I'll say this. After the last 2 years, yes. Maybe after 2023, well, in the middle of 2023, they struggled. And what the issue was, they didn't have any edge at all. I mean, it was nobody ever talked about it because the secondary was sort of leaky. But you look back at the guys that were playing in that year, Cole, and it was probably the worst group South Carolina's had in years. And you can't set the edge. But what they did at the end of that year, they went to a three-man front, and that worked because you got Tonka Hemingway out there a little bit. And then they fixed the secondary. They had Nick Emanware playing nickel. Now,
Yeah.
right now, that sounds great, but then it wasn't working. So they moved him back to safety and put Jalen Kilgore up there, and all of a sudden they could cover again. And then the last 2 years, I mean, 2024, obviously, they had an elite defense. And then I think by a lot of accounts, the defense kept them in games this past season, even though they had to replace a ton of talent, and they overachieved. And then they have a lot of guys coming back next year. They're going to be, take that next step, like Fred Johnson and Justin Okoronkwo at linebacker. I think they could cycle back up slightly, maybe not the 2024 level, but back up slightly. And his scheme is a lot like the other, now that they have Browse, the other schemes at Carolina. It's aggressive, creative, and fun. He calls them up, dials them up. I mean, confuses offenses, and he's a heck of a defensive coordinator. And I think I got to go back and see in the 80s if Richard Bell stayed longer than him. I think he's the longest tenured defensive coordinator South Carolina's had. He's been there this is 6th year. So consistency matters as well.
Wow. That's wild to think that potentially looking at the longest tenured D coordinator in the history of South Carolina football. That's crazy. JC, great stuff, man.
Yeah,
Thanks for hopping on, talking with us. We always appreciate your time. Great insight. We'll do it again soon.
Hey, thanks so much, Cole. It's a pleasure.
There you go. JC Sherbert joining us on the Higginbotham Hotline. Talking just a little South Carolina, which, there's a lot of reasons to be excited about what's happening in Columbia. There's a lot of reason a lot of folks have concerns right now in Columbia. You can find JC on Twitter at JC Sherbert. Find his work at InsideTheGamecocks.com. So we'll table that discussion. One thing that you probably don't want to table yet is the heater, because the last 2 days have been pretty cold. 21 degrees when I left the house today. And you're probably thinking, man, I thought we were done with that. Like Sunday afternoon, I turned the fireplace on after the kids were outside for a little while. You're probably also realizing that there are certain parts of your home that are feeling cold, drafty, or have some uneven temperatures. High heating bills may be due to poor insulation. I have the answer for you if these are your problems. It's Noble Eagle Insulation. They protect comfort. They can lower your energy costs. They can improve efficiency. They can come spray one small portion of your house. They can come spray your entire basement, your entire attic, whatever you need them to do to help around your home from an insulation perspective. Noble Eagle can do it. Call 205-490-2933, 205-490-2933. We had one small area on our home after we had been in it for about a year, close to our kitchen. We were concerned when it got really cold that those pipes were going to freeze. Mike and the guys came over. They sprayed one area underneath, got it taken care of, have not had an issue since. In business since 2013, veteran-owned insulation company right here based in Birmingham. Call 205-490-2933 for Noble Eagle Insulation or go to nobleinsulation.com. All right, when we come back, I want to ask you guys this question, and this will be a group discussion here that you guys can also be a part of it. 800-239-9569, 800-239-WJOX. What do we need more of in sports? Sunday, we felt like we were getting a little bit of this. Everybody got to their couch. Not everybody. A lot of people got to their couch watching Team USA hockey go win the gold. That brought us together. There are a lot of aspects of college football we say, we need more of that. What do we need less of in sports? Might be the more important question, and actually might be the harder question to answer of the two. 800-239-9569, 800-239-WJOX. There is an event coming that I will watch, and I hate myself for knowing that I'm going to watch it. Do we need more of it? Do we need less of it? And what else do we need more and less of? Next, right here on Jocks. I'm going to ask this question on Twitter. Sidebar, we'll keep this conversation going throughout the course of the show. Does NCAA President Charlie Baker have the most thankless job in America? If not, who does? I'm giving you guys fair warning. The context warriors are coming out in full force on this one.
Oh, 100%.
Last play's the one that decides the game, Cole. Why are you asking that question? Well, no, that's not where we're at. Okay, guys.
America's teachers.
Yeah.
First responders. Like, no one's taken away from them. No, it's not. Actually, people here, first responders have a bowl named after them.
Yeah.
They do.
We're very appreciative of what they do every day.
They do.
Hell, at our teachers, they get like coffee trucks and all kind of jazz.
College football playoff, that's their charity. The extra yard for teachers.
I don't see extra yard for Charlie Baker.
No.
I don't see a Charlie Baker bowl. So please understand, it's not one meant to be taken personal. I just don't know another job out there. Maybe it's just I'm thinking sports. I do want to go past sports, though, that I have not heard a single person say, man, Charlie Baker's doing a pretty good job.
No, they had.
Charlie Baker, he is doing an average job. No one.
No.
Literally 0 people have said that. All right, let's move forward here. We got something coming up that I need to discuss. You guys have heard me talking about flu season, though. It is here. It is rampant. Make your home healthier with Trane's Clean Effects Home Air Cleaner. Removes up to 99.9% of airborne particles, including those that cause virus. 100 times more effective than standard air filters. 8 times more effective than HEPA room filters. Find a dealer near you at Trane.com. It's hard to stop a train. There is an event coming up this fall, which the good news is this will take place while there's football on. So it's not like I'm going to be completely dialed into it. It'll be on my phone or my iPad. It's probably supposed to start at 8. I don't see a time. It'll start at like 11:30. Netflix tweets out 16 hours ago. 2 of the greatest icons in history will meet again for the first ever professional boxing match at Sphere in Las Vegas.
Oh, okay. Let's say context.
Saturday, September 19th, live globally, only on Netflix. Hashtag MayPac2. That almost sounds like a campaign something.
Maypac? Yeah.
Especially when you look down, it's like the 2 countries' flags against one another. Because when I think Mayweather, I think USA flag. That's what I...
He is a gold medalist, Olympian.
Different day.
Yeah.
Different day.
It is indeed.
I hate myself for not already knowing ahead of time I'll watch this.
Same.
And it will be a complete waste of my time.
Yep.
It'll be a complete waste of your time, Damien.
Yep.
But we'll watch it.
Mm-hmm.
And I totally get the people that are going to tweet in super angry right now about will not watch this. 1, because they hate Floyd Mayweather. 2, which is super fair, how terrible the last one was.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the biggest game of patty cake in a professional boxing match I've ever seen.
He's not even touching them.
Speaking of which, did you know he's fighting Tyson?
Who?
Mayweather.
So it is real.
I think so.
Oh, man.
By the way, the way to really make this count is to give him about a 45-minute intermission and fight Tyson after he fights Pacquiao. Or why don't we have the first ever triple threat boxing match
Oh, my God.
where you don't know you have 3 corners and you don't know who's coming in a specific round. You have a green light and a red light behind you, and you're sitting there and you're just looking. Pacquiao, Tyson, green. Go. Here we go. And Mick has to yell in there like, now the defense is really important.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Like, I'm telling you, if one of them catches, in that case, I would hate to be caught slipping because it is night. It'll end up being one-on-one eventually.
Well, Tyson would probably gas himself out. Like
For
he did
sure.
against Jake Paul.
Oh.
Or Ron Paul or Logan Paul. Whichever Paul Rue Paul. I don't remember which Paul he fought.
That might have been more entertaining.
It
Work.
was
Oh, he'd gotten work.
yeah.
Paul Revere. I don't know which one it was.
Ah.
But yeah, that one.
It's insane. It's insane. Like, first off, Manny Pacquiao was already out of his prime when he fought the first time against Floyd Mayweather. And Floyd, that was the start of, I can sit in the ring for however long and not get touched, and I'll make $6 billion.
You know what Floyd Mayweather became in boxing?
What's that?
Little League baseball coach. And you don't understand this because you don't have kids that are Little League baseball age yet. But what like 6U, 7U, when you start to get to like 8U, it starts to go away a little bit. But it's essentially who can snake the rules the best.
Gotcha.
Like, who has the kid that will pick up the ball, run to the infield, holding it up, and yell time? Like, who has the kids that you can just yell to keep running the bases? And the other kids don't have the awareness to know to go tag him. Like, they're sitting there touching the base.
Gotcha.
And like, it's not a force.
Gotcha.
Like, it's just who can snake, like, oh, you can play middle outfield rover. So, like, every ball hit up the middle, like, that kid just magically is there. And the first kids on first don't run fast, so he can just run and touch second base. Even though Johnny smoked that ball up the middle and it should have easily been a single,
Right.
we go get the force out at second because we had a magical outfield rule that nobody else knew we could play. Like, it's literally what it is.
Okay.
Floyd Mayweather basically found a way to snake through. He's like today's college football player. Like, he found the red shirt rule.
Yep.
And he's like, hold
Everyone
on.
else is Charlie Baker, just out here getting punched. Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to have a real boxing match. No. We're not doing that.
We're not doing that.
We're quicker than you, faster than you, and doggone it, people are going to have to like it.
Yep.
I'm just going to keep moving. And even if I am within arm's reach, don't think you can touch me. It might sound like you did, but it really is not going to hurt me. So there's no need for me to throw a punch
Yep.
because I'm one of the best conditioned athletes on earth, and I could do this for 7,000 rounds.
Yep. And that's exactly
Good
what he
luck
did.
you lasting that long. Not going to happen. So basically what he turned into.
Yep.
Like, I'll snake the rules. There's nothing you can do about it. And this is the way we're going to go. So I don't need this. I'll be honest with you. I don't even like this.
No.
But I know I'll watch it.
I'm with you.
I will. Did Manny Pacquiao, this is not a GIF, I don't know what you would reference this as, like taking someone's photograph that happened to them and putting it everywhere? Was he the first one? Did he start that? When he was face down on the mat?
Oh, yeah. Oh.
I mean, where did we see that?
Like he got ahead of his
Everywhere.
own joke. Like he got ahead of his own joke.
I mean, I feel like that was the first picture that we took and like put it on the pyramids and like put him on the subway.
Yeah.
Like every other sporting event that happened, like, oh, there's Manny face down watching Aaron Judge run around third base.
Yeah.
Like whatever it was.
The first meme,
Yeah.
Yeah.
first
like,
viral meme.
oh, Jalen Milroe dropped the snap again. There's Manny Pacquiao watching it. Face down in the grass.
Right.
Bryant Daney. Like, I can't think of another. Maybe it's just because I have a sports brain, but I can't think of another photograph that we took and placed everywhere because of what had happened on one instance.
That probably was the earliest because there were probably moments that people referenced, like Buckner missing the ball in that World
nobody
Series.
had to do that.
But
dude.
right, yeah,
Right.
you weren't able to do that. Yeah,
I mean, even when it happened to Pacquiao, very few of us knew how to like take that picture and put it on another picture. I still struggle with it today. I can't just go do that. I feel like he was the first athlete that we said, oh, you got completely embarrassed. We're going to add that to everything big that happens.
Yeah.
Oh, streak at the Super Bowl? Pacquiao was face down in the grass watching. Like everywhere.
He was, yeah. Yeah.
Brian Del Val tweets in, Atco Cubic spot on with 7U baseball coach that plays the center field rover to get the guy out at second every time. There's a lot of it that's not baseball. And by the way, it's in youth basketball as well. Not all of it, but there are strategies implemented that are within the rules that you're like, good job. I hate you within rules, but this isn't basketball. It's not. By the way, we had a certain instance that happened in a basketball game on Sunday that I'm debating whether or not I should reference. You know what I'll do? I'll tell you guys a story in the break, and you tell me, is that worthy of mentioning on air? Let's go. Maybe we do, maybe we don't. Discuss it next on Jocks. All right, we don't have time to tell that story now, so we'll save it. We'll table it.
It's worth it. I will say. Yeah,
100%.
It needs to be told. Parents out here are wild.
Ian tweets in, Jason Duffner was the first meme. What was it?
I mean, I don't know.
What was he doing? You guys send us the picture. It's not ringing a bell. Ben Wright tweets in, Caroline Levitt. See, I would have said her predecessor because I feel like she never could win.
Right. Yeah,
ever.
Yeah.
Caroline Levitt put some people in place now.
Yeah.
She walks off that podium with W's a lot, at least in my mind. She's not afraid to.
Yeah, she got.
Yes. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. I was like, I don't think this was written, but that's from the Cub.
I do think that job title in general is up there.
Oh, it's gotta be.
You're very rarely going to just get wins and feel right, and people are going to say thank you for what you do. She handles it a little bit differently.
Yeah. You're forced into the fire.
Justin Bailey tweets in, had one rule in bold out of the 10 rules given to us that said no goalie. Not only did he have a kid stand in goal the whole time, also stood there as a coach on the field. Got into it with a couple other coaches. Yeah, I try not to do that. No, it's not. They're going to snake them, though. They're going to find those advantages. Little League coach, NCAA athlete, basically the same.